Okay people, my name is Ala and this video is going to show you how to edit in Premiere 10 times faster. This video will also show you how to get past YouTube copyright in some ways, particularly visually, and there are a lot of tips in this video that I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's get started. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want more art in fucking on YouTube and shit. So here's what we're gonna do, okay? Whatever. Okay. First things first, hey, did you know that I guess Premiere takes FLV or MKVs now? Look at that. That's not important. I'm going to cut the audio here because I don't want to have to hear really loud fucking cuts and shit. But we're just using an episode of Comic Girls, and I'm going to show you some things. If you like edit like AMVs and shit, that'll even be easier for getting past copyright, okay? So let's see. Okay, tip number 1 is that you can skip forward a couple seconds if you press on your numpad, and you have to have it on your number lock. You have to have your num lock on. Press plus, and then if you press like any number, let's say 4, and then press enter, it'll skip 4 frames ahead, okay? Now if you do plus and then you do a number and then you do a dot or you do a period afterward, all of these buttons have to be pressed on your number pad, even the enter key, your number pad enter key. But I do have a solution in case you don't have a number pad that I'll show at the end of the video that I recommend you do. I have a really good method that'll show you how I edit lightning fast. Okay, so you do a number and then you press a period and enter, and it skipped 5 seconds, not 5 frames, which is probably way more useful. Okay, so obviously YouTube has a thing where, you know, if you cut your video enough and like make it so that you don't have any clips that are about 5 seconds or more longer, they can't really detect you. So what I do is, typically how it goes is I skip 5 seconds, but well, really I normally eyeball it, but here's what you should do, okay? So this function exists, so that skip function exists. Skip 5 seconds, easy, okay? Then what you can do is pressing D selects your clip. So here's what we should do. We're going to do, okay? We're going to go to edit, and then we're going to go to keyboard shortcuts, and you're going to, well, it's not going to look like that. So it's going to look like this, and you're going to see zoom tool, and you're going to kill that, because what you want is an easier way to cut. So you're going to type add edit here, right here, and you're going to click this and drag it to the Z, okay? So now you're going to press OK. Actually, also clear this, and I'll show you why. You don't have to do it right now if you don't. Fuck. Okay. Press the X right here. And look, so now whenever you press Z, it's going to cut the video, okay? So look at this. Now you have some cuts, okay? So what I would normally do is like skip a few seconds, cut, skip a few seconds, cut, just make a bunch of cuts, right? Also, pressing Control and Z will make it undo. So it'll undo the last thing you did, okay? Fuck. I pressed it too much. Okay. So where's the unlink? Oh, they're already unlinked. Cool. So another tip, okay? So let's make some cuts, right? We're going to zoom in and just make some cuts. So Z, 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 okay? These cuts are still not even close enough where you'll probably still get copyright claimed if you're not careful. Really, you should keep it below 5 seconds. but you know, this is just for an example, okay? So if you press if you press the down button, the down arrow and up arrow on your keyboard, they go to the next cut every single time. So that way you can get to your cuts way faster, backwards and forwards, you know, really easy. Also, if you press D, it'll select the next cut you have, okay? Which can be useful. So what I would do is something along the lines of, I would cut, and then I would, every like third cut, I would bring it up, and I would basically cut the whole video, and then I would bring it up, and then I'd get all these, and I'd drag them all the way to the end. Every third cut is what I would do, okay? And I would bring them all the way to the end. And then I would do it with the second cut. And I would bring the first cut, and I'd bring all those to the end. That way the entire episode is completely mismatched and fucking jumbled, okay? It works out great. I never got claimed, you know? Another thing, also, here's also a huge tip. Okay, first of all, Premiere sucks, alright? Let's be honest here. What you should do is change your automatic save projects to 5 minutes or lower, or whatever you want to do, okay? And remember, Control S is how you save, is the hotkey for saving, okay? So don't ever trust the autosave, because it doesn't work. We are using the autosave as a reminder to tell you to save, because it will do an autosave and not save sometimes. At least for me, I've had that problem happen for me all the time, okay? So you don't want to, I press Control Z there. I'm just going to do it again. But another tip, okay? Do as much as possible. You want to do as much as possible outside of Premiere as possible. If you're cutting audio, like in my videos where I have audio playing over just footage, I mix my audio in Audacity, and I do not mix my audio in Premiere at all, because Premiere has and will end you over and over. There's been multiple times where Premiere will cut, will just stop responding, and then you would be shit out of luck. And this has happened to me. It'd be like, it's okay, it auto-saved it a couple times, and then you go to the project and there's absolutely nothing there, and Premiere never auto-saved even once. So you want to make sure to Control S, because Control S actually works and really saves it. This is the only thing that has kept me from going insane. And basically, I have a habit of just every time I do something, I pretty much can whenever I do anything specifically big, add a effect or something, I'll Control S, because I do not want to get ruined. I do not want to get ended and fucked by Premiere. So don't fuck that. Okay, so here's the best thing that you should do, okay? So you should buy, or not buy, it's free. So AutoHotkey is a program, and it lets you get a script, okay? So here's my Premiere script. Am I nervous? Okay, so edit script, right? Basically, what you would do after you download that is you would go here to new, and then it would be here, okay? So AutoHotkey script, and you would make a new one, all right? But I don't have to do that because I already have it. And I'm going to give you guys this script, by the way, okay? So here's the script, and what it does is when I press 0 on my number pad, here's what it does, okay? I'm going to remove all the cuts that I have by spamming Control Z. When I press 0, what it does is it does plus on my number pad, and then it does 5, and then it does period, and then it presses enter, and then it cuts it. So I can press enter. So every time I press 0 on my number pad, it cuts it. It skips 5 seconds and cuts it, okay? So this makes it way easier. I don't have to eyeball it and cut it every single time. This is what I recommend you do because it's way faster, and even faster, right? Even faster, you can just hold the 0 after that. You can just hold the button and it will continue doing it just constantly. So that way you just have the whole video done way faster than if you try to do it any other way. Every 5 seconds it's cut and you have a cut up video. Perfect. Okay? So actually we'll finish cutting up this video, right? And then I'll show you the second script that I have, okay? The second part in this macro, right? Or the script is you press the / button, and what that does is remember the things I taught you. Pressing down goes to the next cut, right? And pressing up goes to the previous cut. So I have the forward button do this. I have it skip. Oh, I have it. Okay. So I have it bring the current frame. I have it press D to select it, and then I have it drag it up by pressing Alt, because I guess I didn't explain that. Alt and then up brings the selected cut up, and Alt down brings the selected cut down. So what this script does is it presses D, which makes it be the first thing, and then it does Alt up, and it does that, okay? So how that works is I press that, and it goes. So now I do this all the way through, okay? And it's lagging, but it's working fine. So the entire video. Oops, I did that. Control Z fixed, okay? So now this looks like this is the first cut, okay? Every 3 cut in 3 parts each time. So it does the first one, and then 1, 2, skips it, and then the third one, okay? Every time. So what I then do, I get all of these, and I'm going to drag them all the way to the ending, or all the way back here, which would be way more work if I try to do this, if I try to do this any other way. So boom, I put it on the end. Now all the first third frames are here at the end, okay? And they're out of order. But look, see, so the problem, which is why you're gonna do it again, is that these 2 frames, this is 10 seconds altogether, are still right next to each other. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna click right here, and you're going to, I think this one, right? So this is the second frame. Don't forget that, okay? So when you press forward, it's going to cut the second frame. So now it's bringing the second frame up. Oh shit, I held it too long, and now it was going on its own. But basically, you're going to keep pressing it or holding it until you get right around, oops. There we go. So this is where it ends, right around here, okay? So these are the second frames. So you don't want the second frames. Actually, it doesn't really matter because they're not in order at all anyway. But normally I like to get third frame. So I'll get all of the third frames now, just so that the video is evenly mixed up, It really doesn't matter on getting whether the third frames or not, since it's all going to be mixed up. And that's your goal, is to get it as mixed up as possible so that YouTube doesn't detect your thing, doesn't detect your fucking copyright, okay? So now you can bring all of these down, and however you'd like to do it. And I have another tip for, it's like, oh, now I know what you're thinking, man, what? You're gonna have to ripple delete all of these? So here is another tip, okay? So what you can do is you can click new item, click adjustment layer, right? And you're going to press OK. This is an adjustment layer. And what this does is basically if you wanted to put an effect over all of your video, putting it on this adjustment layer will bring it to everything, right? But it has another purpose, something that's even better and way better. So we are going to make this adjustment layer super huge so that it covers all of the footage, all of the split up cuts that we have, okay? And here's the best part, okay? So first select all of the cuts that you made, not the adjustment layer, right? Try to make sure you're doing this, okay? Try to make sure you're doing this perfectly. Follow along if you need. So you're just gonna drag them all onto the adjustment layer, right? And then you're going to drag them all back down, okay? So now what you have is the adjustment layer has basically it has memorized all of the spots for where your videos are. And here is the cool part, okay? So instead of having to edit all those together or like clip through them, you're going to select all of this now and you're going to ripple delete, okay? Oops. Going to select all of just the adjustment layer. And you're going to right click, ripple delete, and then boom. You now have a video that is completely cut up and like uncopyrightable. If you want to be safe, you can set it to 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and it'll be just as good, you know? Just probably more cuts, but it's not a problem now because you're not doing them manually. See that I got a save right there, so I'm going to Control S to remember to fucking not get fucked up if Premiere wants to ruin me today and fuck me over. Yeah, I'm salty about Premiere. What of it? Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else I had? Nope, that should be about all it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully now you guys can make more analysis or AMV or whatever videos you want to make. These are just some cool tips. Hopefully they helped you guys out. Let me know. Join my Discord. I'm going to put this macro in the description. I'm just going to copy paste it, okay? So I'm going to copy paste this and you guys can just do that. Remember, NumpadEnter, NumpadDot, it is specific to the number pad. So if you don't have a number pad, you can still do this because the macro is using a number pad, even if you're not. Anyway, that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now go make some shit.